Last night we had a screening of the first episode with a room full of fans, and like, I cry at everything, but I just feel so moved, especially like in this landscape with like 500 scripted shows, to have just found our niche and like a group of people who love the show. I think you'd be a monster to take that for granted, and I never will. So, third season is amazing.
I've asked you in the past about Buffy.
Oh yeah.
So I have to ask you again. What do you heard about the reboot?
I did last night.
What do you think?
Well, I think Buffy, I would not be here today without Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Joss Whedon, and I guess my parents as well. I should maybe shout them out. Look, it's always hard to do remakes, right? But I guess I would say Joss Whedon is a very incredible writer. I want to have an open mind about it, you know? And I honestly, how can you fault more female heroines, you know, kicking vampire ass? I'm like, I always got more time for that. So I wish they'd ask me to help, like get coffee or like pick out the shoes, but I'm available until I hear from Sci-Fi, but yeah.
Well, speaking of vampires, of course, in
Yeah.
the first episode,
Yeah.
your version of vampires.
Yeah, sexy Euro trash vampires, of course. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We still have one left, or a couple left.
We
Are
do.
we going to revisit and see more?
Well, have you had a chance to meet Chantel Riley, who plays the delicious vampiress Kate? She's magnificent. She seems to know Doc Holliday from his past. I think vampires are fun. There's something I've actually always avoided in my career because I kind of started writing at a time when like Twilight and Vampire Diaries and Buffy, of course, like were in the zeitgeist. So I sort of felt like they had been done. So it was just pleasurable to get to a point on Wynonna where I was like, I think we can do vampires, you know? Like, I think we've earned one episode of just vampires coming off a stripper bus. That's how you know you've made it. You can keep your Emmys. That's how you know. Yeah, there's always time for more vampires, but God, when you just talk about all the supernatural creatures and demons, I mean, I'm gonna need at least 12 seasons to finish it, so yeah.
So previously, you told me, a pilot is different from episode 2. And
Yes.
Season 2 is different from that.
Yes.
So how is season 3 different from
Great
season
question,
2?
Eric. Well, we didn't do things very traditionally at Wynonna Earp, as you know. First season is always just like, honestly, kind of a battle royale with a bunch of different personalities of like, what is this show? Like, people who don't think female characters can be funny, or it's going to be too gay, or she shouldn't kick so much ass, or she can't be vulnerable and sexy. So I feel like first season is just about really fighting to make the show what it is and lean into the strengths. And lots of times you see shows that unfortunately just don't get there, you know what I mean? Season 2, I was all ready to go. I felt confident, and then Melanie just had to take it up a notch. She got a little bit pregnant. Not sure you can get a little bit pregnant. And season 2 is such a weird time to have a pregnancy on the show, but again, it just fit in with Wynonna Earp being so unconventional. And again, it was sort of a challenge that ultimately, I feel, turned out to be such a blessing, because I don't know if you know this, but 9 months after you're pregnant, you apparently have to have a baby. The baby has to come out. So we knew at the end of the season she was going to have a baby, and it actually kind of grounded the series in a weird way. So season 3, I felt like I had a free runway, but that was almost terrifying too, I was like, there's no pregnancy to hide behind. We really have to kind of like hit the ground running. But thank God this cast has just never been better. God, they're so good and they're so committed, and I know what they're capable of. So I like to think the show feels quite confident. I know that the fans are going to be there for it. They're going to be there for the twists and turns. But we did make some insane decisions, and I can't take them back now. I simply can't. So, yeah.
And knowing the actors' voices, does it make it easier at this point?
I think so.
Seemingly effortless?
It's never easy, and if you think it's easy, you're dead. You have to be terrified as a writer. Every year I'm like, how did past Emily do this? I honestly have no idea. But I think that's important. I think you should be scared, and you should always want to challenge yourself. I do think knowing what the actors are capable of and what the characters sound like is one thing that is easier. It does get easier, so... Sorry.
So on the dolls, Wynonna, and Docs, and ongoing triangle, what do you think about the fan feelings that say OT3?
Wow, well, I don't know if we're that kind of show. 10 p.m. cable, just kidding, we're totally that type of show. I say I don't hate that idea. I think it's amazing. Sometimes I think Dolls and Doc have more chemistry than Wynonna does with both of them, so there you go. I think anything could happen. What I like about this show is and I hope it comes out, is that I like that Dolls and Doc are grown-ups as well. Like, look, they started out being rivals, but they're good men. They respect each other, they like each other, and like they respect her decision, or if she doesn't even make a decision yet, you know what I mean? So I just feel like that feels a little more 2018, maybe even 2019. So yes, I'd say I'm never getting mad if fans are like, can we have more sexy people together? I'm like, okay, I guess. Yeah.
Speaking of the baby, are we gonna see the baby return?
Nope.
Oh,
I think no.
Season 20.
Yeah, season 20. Yeah, exactly. You give me season 20, I'll give you a baby. Yeah, exactly. Played by Meryl Streep. Huge surprise. She's interested. No, I don't want to say no exactly, but I think we fought so hard to get that baby to safety. I feel you undermine your own story if you're like, just kidding, she's in the potato shed. So, but the specter of the baby is everywhere this year.
All right, in that case, I'm going to ask this question in a weird way.
Okay.
Peacemaker glowing blue.
I have to go. They said time. I'm so sorry. It definitely won't happen again this season, except it might, and you might get answers. So,
So tell us about the beard. Why does that come from? What is the
Came from my face. I grew it over 2 months. No, I was traveling in India, and then I just never shaved. And when I came back, I had a full beard. And Emily saw, and I was like, "Hey, could I keep the beard? I really like having a beard." And she's like, "I don't know. Like Jeremy can't age 12 years in like a season." So she's like, "Well, how about a mustache?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then they cut it like Doc Holliday. And so I was like, "Oh, okay. Now I'm gonna be like this for 4 months. It's great." It was like mutton chops. Thank you. I'm so happy. I mean, it's just like a fun visual gag because like every time you like get really serious, you realize I have a mustache, and then you can laugh again at least.
What's next for the OTP, Jeremy and Doc?
Jeremy and Doc. I think you're gonna see a very nice kind of older brother, younger brother relationship between them. He becomes a mentor in a lot of ways to Jeremy. It becomes very beautiful. It's really great.
you can write your own OTP fanfic between the two of you.
What is OTP anyway?
One true pairing.
One true pairing.
Thank you for asking.
other
That was not really
So, and then you know what fan fiction is?
Yes.
So
know what
you
slash
could write
fiction
your own like
Have I read any? I want to read
Slash
them.
fiction, hold on.
fanfic, whatever. But if you could write your own adventure that we could turn into an episode that you would crafted, what would it be?
Like of Wynonna Earp?
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder. I mean, I would like, and I think a lot of the fans want this too, like a musical episode. Like that would be very fun to see us in a world where, like how they did on Buffy, they were all under a spell and they were singing and stuff. It could just be something in that vein. Because I think we all have some skills. Like Tim can play guitar, Dom can sing, Mel can dance. I don't know. Like it's all. Everyone has things. I don't know if Mel can dance. I was just giving her something that she can do. I can rap.
Excellent.
Do you want to spit some bars?
No.
You don't want to do a 16?
I don't want to do a 16.
In the
Poorly, I can rap poorly.
first episode, we did see getting out a little action for a second.
Yes.
Is he going to try to explore more, getting in on the action? You think? He seemed to like it a lot.
Yes, I think you will see, not to spoil anything, Jeremy will try and seek some romance. Like, Jeremy will look for it. Yes, I think you'll see that.
Going back to last season, when Rosita was taken out, at that point I was like, oh no, Jeremy's next. Did you have any concern, this is, or did you knew you were gonna be on for 2 seasons?
Yeah. I think my part initially last year was just kind of meant to be the exposition guy, functionary guy, and then it grew into something they really enjoyed implementing me in the group, and so yeah, I don't know. This season I just felt right at home. I wasn't trying to prove anything. I was just part of the family, and so it was a much better place to act from as well, because now I just took in what Jeremy's arc is this season.
Jeremy is this kind of character, like you said, that came in and sort of became a core part of the group, sort of without anyone seeing it coming. What do you think it is that Jeremy brings to the dynamic of the show?
I think you'll see it a lot more this season. I'm very excited for you guys to see what Jeremy does this season because I think he grows more into what he is already. Like now, is a bit more confident and more assured of his position in the group, so he makes decisions and he kind of is more serious more often and he doesn't take things as a joke all the time. And yeah, I don't know, I think what draws people to Jeremy is his like innocence and love, and much like Waverly kind of had, but now she's had so much darkness put upon her that now Jeremy is taking that role of kind of the guy in the group or the person in the group who exudes love all the time and understanding, you know, like at all times. Yeah, so I think they like that about Jeremy.
But even with that, like in the first episode, what action that was all, he got to be physical action. Like, it seemed exciting when he got punched where he wanted to like go after the revenue, you know. It always is exciting to like be around talk to do things. Is he gonna continue trying to like let me get in the fight, guys?
Yeah, I think because it's only been 4 months Wynonna time, maybe he's done like a gun lesson or two, but no, Jeremy's he's all brains. He's sadly, yeah. And you know, it's good for me. I don't want to punch anybody, so it's perfect.
Are we gonna continue to see more science Jeremy, mystical Jeremy kind of thing, or are we gonna step away from that more?
You will definitely see something. I'm not gonna say that they're not gonna address that, but I don't. To what extent and in what way, I'm not gonna tell you. Yeah.
Shamir said watch episode 2 and everything, so that's fair enough.
Yeah, episode 2 is pretty game changing, so I'm very excited for you guys to see that.
Which episode would you say you're most excited for in terms of your character?
In terms of my character, and I'm very excited when they watch this and they'll see this episode. Episode 4 is a really great Jeremy episode, and I think you see Jeremy become his own person, and it's really nice.
How are you finding it so far?
It's crazy in a good way. I've been having so much fun. Everyone's been so lovely. She's so sweet, you know? We had to do a signing yesterday, 2 days ago, and everyone was just so excited and so happy for the new season and for myself, which I was a little nervous about because I wasn't sure how they were going to take me, but it's been amazing.
Can you tell us a little bit about how your character's going to interact with some of the other?
Well, without giving anything away, because anything I say at this moment could give away anything. You're gonna find out a little bit more about what this whole me coming back for Doc situation. A lot of people are asking me that on Twitter, like, what did she come back for? Why? Who? And then I disappear in the night. Okay. Side note, I totally fell on my behind shooting that scene.
Oh, no.
In the snow, in Calgary, at 12 o'clock at night. It was great. But yeah, you're going to see a little more into what that situation is. Even get to talk to Wynonna a little bit about some situations.
So, last night,
Yes.
I assume you were there.
Yes.
So obviously, to see that many Earpers and how was that your real first experience with that kind of thing? What was it like?
It was crazy. Like, that's like the only word I can say. It was very overwhelming in a great way. In the nicest way possible. I never expected to see something like that before. You know what I mean? To be on a show that is established already, and to come on as a new character and be as welcome as I was just so lovely and just so wonderful for me. And just seeing all the smiling faces and they were cheering and we were watching the screening and I could just feel the energy and how excited everyone was. It's amazing. Did you guys enjoy it?
How was it?
I watched it. I watched it.
Give me your phone. You're not allowed to record this. Did you see
I
it?
saw it a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Shot money.
Anybody else?
Did any of the other cast members kind of prepare you for what Earperdom is kind of like?
Yeah, they did. And even after preparing me, I still wasn't ready. I'm not ready. Like they said, just letting you know, they're amazing, but in the best way possible. You know, they take pride on their fandom of just not being too intrusive or mean. They're all just so lovely and inclusive of everyone, and yeah, they're the best, man. It's really amazing.
Even though your character came in with the bad guys, the new pink smoke vampires.
Yeah, right.
Sexy boss. Yeah, you had another agenda obviously going on, and when you leave, it's a little ambiguous. Is that how you're going to play the character throughout the season? Like maybe floating those lines of maybe I'm with you, maybe I'm against you?
Yeah, I think it really depends on the audience. I feel like it's up to them to decide whether they're going to love me or if they're going to hate me. Which is really cool, and I like that about her, that she is ambiguous, you're right. And it's a great... Emily and the writing team are the bomb, okay? Every script that I got, I was like, damn, you guys keep doing this again. Like, you're just so good. So good.
Her Twitter feed alone should be
I mean,
published.
100%. Like, oh my gosh. And yeah, you're going to find out a lot about Kate. So you're going to see a little bit of her backstory as well. She's exciting, so you get to see where she come from, who is she, why is she even here, you know what I mean? But yeah, you get to decide. You gonna like her, you gonna want her to stick around, or should we just kill her off and just get it over with?
Were you familiar with the show before joining the cast?
A little bit, because I have been friends with Shmir for a few years. So he told me about the show when he got it, and so I, took a sneak peek here and there, but didn't really dive in until the opportunity came, and now I'm obsessed. So there's that. We have another fan here.
How quickly do we get into the backstory, or is it kind of drawn out?
Actually, it's fairly quickly. Yeah, you won't be in the dark for too long, which is good. So just stick with it.
So you already said that you have some scenes coming up with Wynonna. Are there any other of the characters aside from Doc and Wynonna that you get to interact with pretty soon?
What's really great is that Kate. I say this without getting in trouble.
We won't tell.
right, as you report. Kate loves people, and as a tarot reader and palm reader and that stuff, she interacts with a lot of people. And so she may or may not interact with the rest of the crowd. I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out.
So coming new to the show, what was the most surprising element of the world that you discovered coming in?
Most surprising element. Well, the Bolshar situation to me, just watching season 2 and all that. It's time. Bolshar. Oh my God, Bolshar.
What are you most looking forward to people seeing in the third season?
What I'm looking forward to them seeing, I watch the dailies every morning. That's my thing, and I purposely tell Emily, do not send me the scripts. I want to see that, but it's kind of like putting a puzzle together. And Emily, this season, there is a point A to point B in season 3. But that and the storyline, that's great, and that's the way it should be. It's a strong, compelling storyline. But I think what everyone's going to find out with season 3, without me giving anything away, is what she's woven in between that. Every reoccurring character, every guest star in the ensemble cast that we have, everybody in this is going to get a moment to shine. It may be 5-10 seconds, it may be 5 minutes and a lot of dialogue, but she has made sure that everybody that's on that show this year is going to get to shine. And I mean, in a way that's going to make the whole storyline compelling. This is a very complicated, cerebral season. All the fun's there, don't get me wrong. But Emily this year and the writers, the best way I can think of to describe it, she has reached in, she's going to grab those viewers' heart, pull it out. She's not, she's going to squeeze it a little bit, and then she's going to jam it back in there. if you thought last year with the pregnancy, with Alice being born, things like that were emotional, doesn't even compare. The well that everybody gets thrown into, viewers are getting thrown in that well this year. I'm not kidding. You're either gonna pee your pants laughing, or you're gonna fill a bucket up with some tears this year. I mean, she, for a small Canadian show, and the cult following that it has, this, that, and the other, she is really going to play some tic-tac-toe with emotions this year. And I am really looking forward for everybody to see what I've gotten to see in small bits with the scripts so far, with the dailies. So it's full of surprises.
So since the comic book always had a larger scope of monsters, were you happy to get those dailies and see vampires finally?
And I like the way the vampires were treated. Emily and the writers put a different twist on it. I mean, that's classic Eurotrash vampires, a stripper bus, and the best part was Nedley, Greg Lawson, with the scarf, the ascot, being so continental, so chic, that was his greatest acting. That was some great stuff. But no, getting to see that, and I would love to see more. That's why I'm hoping the longer we're on, the bigger the budget might get, and then we can just have fun. I mean, that's part of Tim and I writing the book, is he's spoiled now. I mean, he'll go back to Emily, he goes, Mr. Smith and I, we just wrote this part. We got these big egg monsters. And Emily's going, we can't afford those, Tim. He goes, oh, we need the big egg monsters. And just going on. So hopefully we'll get to see that stuff. And I mean, we've got the new graphic novel that Tim and I are working on. Where do you see who's in that? Wait, I'm serious. I'm spoiling that boy. I'm spoiling him.
Can you tease some of the creatures that will be showing up?
In the graphic novel, yes. And this is not giving anything away, but it's called Bad Day at Black Rock. And Black Rock is the Black Badge prison for all the paranormals. And you're going to meet, re-meet, Bobo Del Rey's younger brother, Mars Del Rey. And if I could compare Mars, Bobo. And if I could compare Mars to give you an idea, when you remember the TV show Lost, the character that Josh Holloway played, Sawyer. This is similar. He is similar. He's a charmer. He sees himself as a criminal businessman. He and Bobo are different, and this is going to parallel the relationship of Wynonna and Waverly. Now you get to see it on the dark side with Bobo and Mars Del Rey. So Tim and I are really excited to explore that. We're going to explore more of where we left off in season 0, where you find out the paranormal Bible has been discovered by Wynonna. And she was looking through it at the end of the book, and she ripped out the page. And this is a book that's thousands of years old, from Atlantis, and she's in it. So we're going to explore a little of that. Luckily enough, with the comic book, I have an extremely unlimited budget, so we're able to do things that on television will take 10, 15 years. So I'm trying to give Emily enough stuff that she can play with, and I'm, again, taking from her and playing with that in the book. And it's, the character Valdez is going to have a very surprising picture in Bad Day at Black Rock that you never know. You just never know. That's a character that I created that, next to Wynonna, is near and dear to my heart, and hopefully everyone's going to find out a little bit more about her as well.